Hello, fellow wanderers. So, as I film this, it is December 29th, and I'm doing a no-buy next year. I am doing a no-buy next year. I would not say that I have a shopping addiction. I would not say that I am even in the top 50% of the worst of the overconsumers on the planet. However, I do buy a lot of stuff that I probably don't need. I'm doing kind of a combination of various challenges, I suppose. A no-buy. I have been planning to do like a full year no-buy for a long time. My father did one a couple years ago in, I think, 2017. And last year I did 4 months of no-buy, kind of. I hadn't defined my rules super well, so technically I never succeeded because I bought groceries, but I need those, so I don't know. I'm gonna say that it's not an entirely a success. But this year I have new parameters, and based on my lifestyle, university, based on the fact that I'm in university and my life has changed quite a bit since I was in high school, those parameters have changed. So let's go through them. I had to fetch the computer. I have a Notion page that I made, and I will be tracking every purchase I make, how much it cost, what the date was, and if it was within my no-buy rules. My no-buy guidelines. So, green, essentially buy as much as I want, do whatever the heck I want. Kind of. I'm still going to be, so green list items, I must write out like a list of what I'm getting before I go get the thing. So that's gonna be groceries. I have to write a grocery list. I can't do impulse purchases. And 2 things that are strictly needed for school. Textbooks, paper, new pens. Actually, not new pens, but that kind of thing where it's not really, if I would like to succeed in school, I need to buy the thing. I had to buy a new calculator because the one I had was not allowed. Things like this where I just have to buy it, and it's not really something I can get away without having. Although I will be trying to get the school things secondhand or rentals, because I managed to rent most of my textbooks or find them online last semester. Next is yellow. Numero uno, a big one, is toiletries. I have a purchasing problem when it comes to toiletries. I have most specifically, honestly, my biggest problem is deodorant. I have one in my car, I have one in my purse, I have 2 in my bathroom, and I have 1 in my bedroom. And those are just the ones I can remember off the top of my head. And then I also have a couple spares, like hiding underneath my bed for when I run out. So essentially I'm doing the pan challenge, if you've heard of this, like Project Pan is I think what people are calling it, where I don't buy anything new of a specific item until I run out of it. So toiletries are in the yellow category because I'm allowed to buy them, but only if I have finished all of what I have. Next is yarn. I know this one's controversial. I have both yarn and fabric on here, because I am a crafty girly and I love crafting, but I do have a lot of yarn. And I'm not doing a total no-buy because it's something I really enjoy, and I don't want to be rationing myself with how much I'm allowed to knit or crochet in order to make my yarn stretch the whole year. So my only rule with that is that every single ball of yarn needs to be gone before I can buy more. And also it's not like all of my yarn. All my sock yarn has to be gone. All of my like weird random scraps I have to have done something with them. And then I can buy more of a specific type of yarn if I already have some and I've started a project, but I just need a little bit more to finish the project. And then with fabric, I must have a project in mind. Part of why I'm being very loose with the fabric one in particular is because clothing is on my red list. I'm allowed to buy no clothing. But I'm also kind of going through a wardrobe upheaval. For a long time, I've just kind of worn the clothes that I've had with no particular style. I mean, over the past 4 years, I've definitely started dressing in a way that I like much better. For example, my current outfit. Basic but cute. But because most of the garments I buy are thrifted, I need to do repairs on them. These pants, they're wool, they're really nice. Originally they sell for $250 and I got them for like $8 at a thrift store, but they are starting to look a little ratty. And so if my clothes give out, etc., I need fabric to be able to make more. In addition, I have a couple big parties I'm going to this year, or next year, 2025, I'm going to a couple massive parties where I'm going to make some pretty elaborate gowns, and so I'm going to buy fabric for that because the elaborate gowns are also re-wearable pretty easily in my lifestyle. So fabric is allowed, with the caveats of I must have a project in mind, and I must have finished a project in the past month before I'm allowed to buy new things. And this is just so I don't end up in the endless cycle of buying fabric but not making anything with it. So I have to have finished something so that I have some level of momentum, and I have enough fabric stashed that should not be a problem, and enough projects planned that I've not started. Next on my yellow list is winter boots. The only winter boots I have are these lovely ladies. They're just Solivare leather boots, and I've waterproofed them, but I don't know how warm they're gonna be. So far I've been fine. The coldest we've gotten so far is like -4 Celsius. So I just don't really have a good gauge of if that's going to be enough. In Colorado, it's fine. Canada, I don't know. Also on my yellow list, gifts for people. I have a parentheses, and then be very careful about this. It must be something they need, and I have to try and make it first. And when I say need, that's kind of loose. I'm going to be trying to it's something that when I'm buying gifts, I'm going to try and go with the guidelines of consumable and upgrade from something they already have and use a lot, or something I think they need. So I don't think my roommates watch my channel, so this is going to be okay. But one of my roommates, I feel like I found a scarf that I think she would really love, and so I bought it. And technically that does not fit because I did not try and make it, and I am very capable of making a scarf. But that's it's still 2024 as I bought the scarf and filmed this, so it's fine. But that's kind of my plan for gifts. And then makeup. I'm slightly concerned about this one. I buy a lot of makeup. I do not wear a lot of makeup. I wear lipstick pretty regularly because it makes me happy. And then occasionally, if I'm going out, I'll put on some eyeshadow. But I just bought a bunch of new eyeshadows. I have a little vanity right there that is chock full of eyeshadow that I don't use. And I keep buying foundations, which is so entertaining to me because I don't use foundation. My skin is generally pretty clear, and even if it wasn't, I don't care. I don't wear foundation. So I don't know why I own 4 of them. So I'm gonna do my best to use them as concealers or base for fun eyeshadow looks. And I have been wanting to go into some kind of fun, funky makeup looks. I want to shave my eyebrows so desperately. Anyway, style video. So 2025 style goals video is coming soon. Anyway, that is my yellow list. Now on to my reds. This is by far the longest. Top of the list is clothes. A couple times I have tried to track the clothing I buy, but it never really ends well. I just kind of pitter out around June. And I don't think I bought that many clothes last year. But then I think about it and I'm like, okay, well in December I bought 10 pieces of clothing, 3 of which didn't fit me and I now have to return because I bought them online. So it's just, oh, that feels so icky. So no clothes. And that's kind of my only super, super strong one. With everything else on this list, that's not even true. I look at the other things on this list and I want to shame myself. I am trying to approach this not from a place of shame, but from a place of growth. Anyways, perfume. I get gifted a lot of perfume. I buy a lot of perfume. I do not use a lot of perfume. We're not allowed to wear perfume at the school I go to, and I work in a science lab, and so I can't wear perfume in there either. And so the only time I wear perfume is when I'm either going to sleep, I've just cleaned my room and I like do a spritz over my bed to make it smell real nice, or I'm going out. Most of the time if I'm going out, it's somewhere on campus, which means I cannot wear perfume. I'm trying to think about how often. I don't think in my entire first semester of university I went out off campus a single time, other than to the grocery store or like the knitting store. So I have way too much perfume for how much I wear it. And I have a lot of very nice perfume as well. I keep buying myself very expensive perfume, thinking, oh, this is gonna be my perfume for the rest of my life. And then it's not. Anyway, books is the next thing on this list. I used to buy books all the time, and I don't really think I did much of that last year. Part of it, I'm in university, tighter budget. My libraries, I have 2 libraries that I'm signed up with and frequently visit, and neither of them are great. That's not true. I shouldn't say that. They are both fantastic. I read a very niche genre of book. Weird girl feminist literature and not super pop. I read a lot of like weird indie novels, and so those are often hard to find, but if I request in advance, my library can buy them for me, which is good for both me because I don't have to pay anything. The library, they have more stock and more people using it, which means they get more funding from the government. And also good for the author, good for me, because the author got something bought and the library has a new book. Woo, amazeballs. I don't need to buy any new books. I read a lot on my phone anyway, and so it's super easy to just download books off of like Libby is what I usually use. Next is shoes. I have a boot problem. I love me a pair of boots. And so I'm not letting myself buy anymore. I also, most of the shoes I buy are around the $300 mark. And again, college budget, not happening. Especially, I want to start putting money into savings, and so I need to have money that can go into savings rather than buying very expensive shoes. I have an asterisk there because I mentioned earlier I might need a pair of winter boots. I thought about picking them out now, but I kind of, this boot that I have already, they have a shearling line version, and so I'm thinking of just buying that if I really need a warmer winter boot, but I'll also do more research before I actually go and buy it if I need it. Next up is purses. If you can't tell, I like my leather goods. I recently got gifted a purse from Portland Leather. It's behind me, but I'm too lazy to go get it. And I love it a lot. It was one of my graduation gifts. I use it as my everyday backpack because I don't carry around that much stuff. Laptop, water bottle, and phone is pretty much what I need for class. And then I bought a vintage Coach purse, and then I stole a Coach purse from my mom, and then I bought another vintage Coach purse. Most of these Coach purses are like this big and I don't use them. I don't go out. They're going out purses and I don't go out. Whoops. I don't really know what to say about that one. I buy too many purses. I have too many purses. It's not something I need more of this year. Next up is storage containers. Storage containers have not really been a problem for me so far this year. In 2024, they were not a problem, I guess. But as I move from university back home and then from home to university again, I know that I will be very tempted to just buy a bunch of storage containers to make myself more organized. And that's not what's going to happen. I'm just going to have more storage containers that I feel guilty about having, especially plastic ones. So we're not doing that. The next thing on my red light list, pens and ink. I am a big fountain pen girly. I love my fountain pens a lot. I love them a lot. This is the most recent one that I can think of, and then I got the Diamine Inkvent Advent Calendar, and that had 25 additional inks in it, so I'm set for probably the next 5 years for ink. Even if I'm using my inks every day, I'm set for 5 years pretty easily, I think. So I don't need to be buying more because it's a waste of money, space, and ink because ink can go off. And then last thing is art supplies. It's a very broad category to have on a red light list, but that's including pens, markers, notebooks, art mediums, so watercolors, gouache. I do desperately want to try oil painting, but I want to get better at gouache first, and I have a lot of paint that I've bought and then not used up. And so it's important to me that I use up my ink. It's important to me that I use up my ink before I buy more. The sky is very pretty, so I was summoned away to look at it. It's very nice. Where was I? Notebooks. Gosh, I have a ton of paint already. I don't need more. Notebooks are a big one. I love journaling. Oh, also, when included in art supplies, stickers. I am such a hazard. I buy so many and I don't use them up very quickly. And so then I just have a massive box that's overflowing with craft supplies that I need to use. Anyway, that is the plans for my no-buy year of 2025. I know a lot of people are doing this, so feel free to join in with either a no-buy or a low-buy. It's great for the environment, it's great for your wallet, and it's probably pretty good for your mental health. If you like videos like this, like and subscribe. I do all sorts of fun things: fashion, writing, school, aesthetic nonsense. But yeah, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see y'all in the next one.